Coming up is the Miniart Grant MkI with interior. You won't want to miss it. But first, for a little bit of history. The M3 tank, an American medium tank used during World War II. In Britain, the tank was called by two names based on the turret configuration and crew size. The tanks employing the US pattern turrets were called the Lee, named after the Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Variants using the British patent turrets were also known as the Grant, named after the Union General Ulysses S. Grant. Design commenced in July 1940 and the first M3s were operational in late 1941. The American Army needed a medium tank. The Americans' understanding of tank warfare was very much moulded by the First World War and the fact that it was used as a support for the infantry. Coupled with the fact that the Americans hadn't managed to design or make a turret that would traverse, this impacted greatly on the design. That, coupled with the United Kingdom immediate demand for 3,650 medium tanks, the Lee began production in 1940. The M3 had considerable firepower and good armour, but had a series of drawbacks in general design and shape, including the high silhouette and archaic sponson mounting of the main gun, preventing the tank from taking a hold-down position, riveted construction and poor off-road performance. Funnily enough, Colonel Hans von Bock, an author of the Panzer Commander, believed that this tank was actually superior to the best German tank of that time when it was introduced, which would have been the Panzer IV, well up until the F2 variant anyway. Despite being replaced elsewhere, the British continued to use the M3S in combat against Japanese in the Southeast Asia until 1945.
It was roomy. You could stow a great deal inside a Lee or a Grant. It was rather a noisy vehicle in some ways. The suspension squeaked a lot. You couldn't have a silent move towards your objective. Noise gave you away from miles away. It was hot, of course. When both guns were in action, the interior tended to fog up. And at the first possible opportunity, you had to open one of the sponson doors and throw out all the empty cases, otherwise the air just wasn't breathable.
So welcome back to the bench, and we've got our Grant MkI from Miniart, kit number 35217. This kit was released originally in 2019, and this has had a few upgrades and added parts in this particular item here on a desk. So there's our box art. Looks really nice, doesn't it? So let's have a quick look on the sides. So on this side, obviously, you've got your shout outs for your different markings, etc., and the way in which that's all painted up. So not a lot going on the box apart from that. So without further ado, let's get inside the box. So a nice snug box, and the first thing to notice straight away is that we've got all these sprues in one bag. Gotta be honest with you, I was really looking forward to getting to this, and that is a little bit of a disappointment, but let's see how they manage to travel in the bag. So while we've got it there, let's do the instructions. It's quite a thick book, as you can see, and we go straight in, and we've got our shout outs for our different variants, all nicely painted up. You've got the Great British Training Unit 1942, the Australian 1942, North Africa 1942, El Alamein, and the 7th Armour North Africa in 1942 as well. And then you get into the instructions themselves. Now, as you can see, that is, both pages are the sprues that come with this kit. You obviously got a decal sheet, and you've got some photo etch as well. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but as you can see, I would say quite well laid out. Nice instructions, quite clear what they are, and they've not cramped it into the page. So they've you've got your steps nicely laid out. I think that'd be fairly easy to follow. A lot of instruction there for the engine, and etc, etc. So we'll just whiz through, and as you can see, quite happy with the instructions. I don't think you can go wrong there. And we're still going, and we're still going, and we're still going. So there you go, 131 different steps to your complete model. And then at the back there you've got a layout of how to put your rucksacks and bags, etc. onto your particular tank in which you've decided to do. Nice colour call out. And then at the back here you've got your suggested colour chart. You've got mission models, OK, Tamiya, Life Colour, Mr. Colour and Valerio. There's a lot going on in that instructions. Okay, so I've sorted out the sprues. This is sprue A, and as you can see, this is our main side of our tank, and the surface detail is absolutely wonderful, really sublime. And you've even got your added surface detail on there as well. That is really, really nice. So yeah, your outer detail here on the sides of the main tank, main pieces here, and the rear, and a turret as well, or top part. Really nice surface detail. All the rivets are all very much pronounced, and even to the point where they're pronounced on the interior as well, which is good because obviously this is an interior kit, so we need to have just as good interior detail as exterior, and this doesn't disappoint at all. That's sprue A. So here we have our sprue B. Here's the front of the tank, and as you can see, very nicely detailed with surface detail on there. Other surface detail, again, the riveting is very pronounced, very nice. Pick that up with some washes really well. And then obviously the interior part as well, just as good. We've got our hatches are all in good order, and no flash whatsoever on any of it. Very nice and clean. That was sprue B. So here we have sprue C. On this we have our engine here, parts of our engine anyway. We've got a lot of the interior detail on this one. Our shells there, nicely detailed. Our driver's instrument panel, very nice. And again, no flash at all. So yeah, that looks very nice. Our seat there, that's a nice bit of detail on there. As you can see, got the holes in the seat all moulded out there. There is a little bit of cleanup required on that one, I think, just a little bit, but you expect something. But that's really, really nice. Nice little touch. So that's sprue C. We're going to jump ahead a little bit to sprue J, and this is again dealing with the outside surface. Our turret, very nicely, very nice surface detail on there, and that will really, really pop when you stick a wash over that, and all the effects that you're going to use for your painting. That really will come out. The surface is not smooth, as you can see. And then obviously the rest of the outside of the tank, we have got our surface detail, wonderful. And in our engine compartment, you'll see we've got our pipework, etc., all on there as well. So nice lot of detail on there. And that's sprue J. So I couldn't resist going to a sprue F now, where our engine is, all our main parts for our engine are. Now, as you'll remember, this is a Wright Continental radial engine. So you're going to have lots of detail and stuff to do here, as you can see. And again, really nice and crisp. Really nice and crisp here on our piston heads, etc. Pipe works, that's going to sit down really nicely. So again, more pipe work there, that's all really nice and crisp. A little bit of clean up required on some of these parts, but minimal, really minimal. And again, the surface detail is absolutely wonderful. Even on our small little hatches here, the detail is great. A little gear stick there. Starting to come across a bit of flash now, but on this pipe work, it's sort of thing you'd expect. But a simple clean up will come out really nice. So there you go. There is our engine, and that is Sprue J. So here we have a Sprues EI and EG. These are formulating our tracks, so that's going to be really fun to make. Let's have a look at one individually. So we'll start with EI, and EI, not disappointing at all. No ejector pin marks or anything like that to clean up. Nice and easy, I would think that will be. That looks pretty nice. And we'll move on to EJ, or EG, sorry. Nice surface detail, and again, no ejector pin marks or anything like that at all to clean up. A little bit of flash here and there, but realistically not an awful lot. 12 lovely sprues of tracks there for you to complete. So our wheels for our tracks here, we have 4 of Sprue EA and 2 of the LD sprues. Now obviously these are your main drive sprockets, and nice and crisp, nice surface detail. Not a lot of cleanup involved in those, so they're going to be quite nice. And our main wheels, nice bit of detail on our wheels there, with some writing on there as well, which you can pick out with a nice wash. And actual surface detail, as you would expect, is absolutely lovely, nice and clean. A little bit of flash here and there to pick up, but generally not too bad. So that is our EAs and LGs. So keeping with the tracks, here are our 6 ED sprues containing the main parts of the tracks that holds it all together, holds the railway, not our tracks, the road wheels, etc., or the track wheels. And again, nice surface detail, not any really major cleanup involved there at all. Very nice. There is our 6ED. That brings us on to our Sprue GB, and on this sprue we have some nice interior detail. We have our radio set there, lovely detail on that, very crisp, very crisp. Our shells and our shell storage, looking really nice. And then that goes along with that is our GC, which is our inner part of our turret, and again more interior detail, all of which is crisp, all of it not requiring a great deal of cleanup. Some bits and pieces here and there, but generally speaking pretty good. So that is our Sprue GB and GC. So here we have 4 sprues, which we've got our DA, which has again there's 2 of these sprues, and these are to do with interior detail and mechanism detail for our running gear. All looking crisp, all looking really nice. No major problems there. But I wanted to have a look at the stowage that we mentioned. So you've got some rucksacks. That would look like a tarp that's all folded up nice and neatly. Some bedding, etc. All quite nice, good detail on them, but will require some cleanup because there are seam lines, etc. on these bags, so be careful of that. Our main tarps, etc. Again, lovely surface detail. That's going to really pop when you paint that. But again, we have got seam line cleanage required here. And our mantle cover. Our mantle cover is absolutely wonderful. Really got some peaks and troughs in there. Really going to pop when you clean it, when you whack that with a wash, etc. So last but not least, we've got our decals and clear parts and our PE. So looking at our main decals, not a lot of carrier film around these decals, very nice. So these were printed by Decalgraft, and not a lot of carrier film around most of the decals, very nice really. A little bit of damage on one of the decals there, which is a shame, and possibly some damage there as well, I would say. So the decals look quite nice, and onto our clear parts, as you can see. I hold it up to the camera. No distortion, etc. in our glass. Very nice, very crisp and clean. So we're going to pop that back in the bag, and then onto our PE. So one sheet stored away nicely in a little cardboard. I won't peel the plastic off, but not a great deal of PE. We've got some nice grills there and other details. Some strap in there, I would believe that will be. So yeah, quite nice. Nice little touch, nice little add on. And there we go. So there you go. There is the Miniart Grant MkI interior kit. Good offering. The quality of the molds definitely are excellent. Very happy with it. The only slight criticism, which I'm sure Miniart haven't heard before, is the fact that it's all in one bag. That's a lot of plastic, an awful lot of plastic to have in one bag. I suppose the upside to that is that I'm not sure I can store that for very long without worrying about whether something's going to get damaged. So I'm just going to have to build it. Bonus, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy with it. But you know, for that sort of money, I would expect there to be some separate bags. It doesn't cost that much in the production process to do that, and it's a shame. So there you go. That's the Grant MkI interior kit from Miniart. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. That way you'll definitely won't miss out on any future content coming up, and there will definitely be more reviews. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for watching, and until next time. Bye bye.